Welcome to Knicks.com, here with Iman Shumpert, who's getting some work done here on the corner three ball. Talk about what you've seen so far in the preseason, not specifics, but maybe how the team's progressed throughout, from West Point to where we were last night in the contest.
I think we're getting better and better with running that offense. I think yesterday, due to our lack of concentration and allowing Milwaukee to open us up with those threes and driving the ball and loosening up our defense, when we allowed them to hit those threes, it sort of made a reflection that we didn't play a good game. We played a damn good game. We just had so many meltdowns and let them play counting by three that the score got lopsided and we lost it at the end. So if we clean up those things and we hold teams like we've been holding them all preseason, to a low shot percentage and make sure that they're not scoring that many points and they're not getting to the free throw line as effectively, I think we'll be fine. But that doesn't worry me about yesterday. It just, we know where we messed up.
It's interesting you bring up the defensive part of last night's game, and a lot of people want to look at the final score, but the fact remains that you guys don't really game plan, and looking at the film, break down the matchups and how you're going to scheme against them. Is that a little bit difficult when you go into an NBA game knowing that you're not necessarily going to pick apart what they're doing offensively and game plan for another team?
Yes and no, because the preseason is time for us to worry about ourselves. We're worrying about playing Knicks basketball. We're establishing how we're going to play every single night. And yesterday was the first time that on the defensive end it dropped off. But, in the preseason you might see any lineup. Different coaches are going to try different things. They're going to try different lineups together just to see how guys play with each other. So a lot of things are going to get thrown at you that you're not prepared for, but we know going into the season we'll be prepared for almost everything.
Now, you're a high-energy guy, very hyped all the time.
Yeah.
Is it difficult for you and some of the young guys to remain patient through this process and know that the mistakes are going to come, but you got to work through them and continue to believe in the triangle and what you're doing defensively as well?
Hell yeah. I'm always bouncing off the walls, but Fish is doing a good job of just, making sure that we stay focused on, like, especially me, and I know Timmy will lose it too in the head. When we see that score starting to get a little lopsided, sometimes our natural instinct as a competitor is to go outside of what the team wants to do just because we're trying to fix that score. I may gamble on defense, he may gamble on defense, somebody may shoot a random three that we didn't want to shoot, but it's because we care so much. We're trying to get this score back right. And what Fish is preaching to us is, right now, play against yourselves. Sometimes the score will, start to get a little lopsided in preseason. It'll balance itself back out. But he said those defensive breakdowns that happened last night shouldn't happen. But he was like, other than that, if we're losing the game by 2-3 points, he's like, trust me, during the regular season, we're going to have lineups and we're going to have plays run to make sure that we get the buckets we need. But right now, we're working on what we need to work on so that when the season starts, everything flows smoothly.
That's a great point, great insight. Finally, I just want to talk to you about, we've covered the triangle to death. We've talked about defense. Pace of play. Can you explain to me and some of the fans out there, when you're talking about the triangle and you're talking about working in transition, what is the idea and the concept behind getting out in the open floor? I mean, there's a bunch of athletes, especially with you, Tim, Shane, Cleanthony, that can get out and score. How do you either flow into the triangle, or how does that work within the overall offensive game plan?
Well, we work on it every single day. Of course, we're trying to push the ball. We're trying to push it down your throat and score as fast as possible, if we can do that. That's what Fish wants. That's what the coaching staff wants. They want us bringing that ball full speed. And if we don't have to use the triangle, then we don't have to use the triangle. But the cool thing about it is, even when we're pushing it in transition, we need to push it in an organized manner. We know where we're supposed to be running lanes, so that just in case we have to put on the brakes and we don't have an easy bucket, we should be able to flow right into the triangle. So we definitely have to do a better job of that. I think a lot of times during a game with the score going the way it goes, sometimes we'll put on the brakes a little early and walk into the offense. And as the habit gets stronger, I think we'll be fine with pushing the ball down until we think we can get a layup. If we can't get it, we'll back it out and we'll be able to flow in. Because pushing the ball faster, it'll also give us more time on that shot clock.
This is why I go to you. You have all the answers I need.
No, man, I just listen to Fish, man. I'm a good listener. I listen to a lot of music.
Fish but you can listen. You can be a good listener, but in order to regurgitate it and sort of explain it, I think that's important, and fans out there want to know.
Tech. I was at Georgia Tech.
There he is.
Georgia Institute of Technology. I ain't get my degree, but I'm going back.
All right, there he is, Iman Shumpert on Knicks.com. Always Knicks Day.